So the Jets get Aaron Glenn, and he's supposed to be a leader, but didn't the Jets already have a leader in Robert Saleh? Well, hey everybody, it's GreenBean back with you for a little video here on the New York Jets. Robert Saleh, Aaron Glenn. 4 years of Robert Saleh. We know what it ended up being, but when we were way back in the beginning, there were a few things being said about this Robert Saleh guy that got Jets fans excited, just like we are right now with Aaron Glenn. Well, what's the big diff? What's the diff between these two guys? Let's talk about it. So, Robert Saleh, as we know, defensive coordinator. Aaron Glenn, defensive coordinator. That seems similar. They're both known as motivational guys, right? They get the team pumped up. What's the saying that we all like to use when guys get you pumped up? He makes you want to run through a brick wall. It's a funny thing because I haven't seen anybody actually do that, nor can you actually achieve such a goal. So why would you want to? Why do we say that so much? It's like kicking the tires. We all say these things. Run through a brick wall. Remember, Juszczyk said that Robert Saleh's speech made him want to smash his face through the desk. Well, go ahead, smash your face through the desk. Well, and we know Robert Saleh, he's got these stories and these little odes, that in analogies and metaphors that he likes to use. So we know all about that. But at the end of the day, the team really was, and they lacked accountability. We were known in the 4 years of Robert Saleh, we were known for starting slow. When the Jets came out and you could see the intensity from the first play, the first drive, whether defensively or offensively, it was like exciting. We felt like, holy cow, look at these guys. We just became accepting of the idea, like, don't worry about it. The Jets start slow. We're a second half team. I hate that shit. But we would say it all the time. Don't worry. So we're only down by 10 and we're a second half team, right? We say this stuff all the time. Well, Robert Saleh famously said that he doesn't really believe so much in holding guys accountable. He doesn't hold guys accountable. What am I going to do? Make them do push-ups? What am I going to do? Yell at them? Guys, these are grown men, he would say all the time. These are grown men. And then you got Aaron Glenn. Aaron Glenn comes from a specific lineage of coach. Bill Parcells, namely. Yes, he started his career with Rich Kotite. Didn't work out so well, but Kotite also wasn't a passive guy. He was known for yelling and screaming at guys and all that kind of stuff. Not maybe to the success, he didn't know how to do it right, of a Bill Parcells, but that's really where Aaron Glenn cut his teeth, in the Bill Parcells New York Jets. Then Al Groh, similar mold, right? He was a longtime Bill Parcells underling, linebackers coach, defensive guy, and then the head coach of the New York Jets for that 1 year in 2000, had us at 5-1. Remember that? We were so excited. Then he goes to Sean Payton, and ultimately Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell, speaking of Aaron Glenn, said this: if he can't turn around the Jets, nobody can. As long as he's got the support, AG will turn that thing around. He's an unbelievable leader. He's the type of person that makes people want to rally around him. Well, thank God he didn't say run through a brick wall. That shit scares me. Rally around him. Big difference between running through a brick wall and rallying around him. You've already seen things that are very, very different. Case in point, the Jets on Hard Knocks, we sign Aaron Rodgers, and you see Robert Saleh and Jeff Ulbrich, for that matter, the head coach for the second 2/3 of the 2024 season. They were positively fawning all over Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Glenn, conversely, comes in and says, we no longer need your services. Thanks, but no thanks. Big difference. We would see a really interesting thing with Robert Saleh during the games, right? We know Robert Saleh famously had what we like to call a get-back coach. A get-back coach. A coach that was designated, his whole job, he was just designated to be responsible for holding Robert Saleh back because he just couldn't be contained, baby. He was so amped up, so packed full of energy that another man had to be paid to hold back our head coach. Yeah, gets you all excited. The problem is that was never during the parts of the game where we were having issues. If we were down by 8, 9, 10, 26, Robert Saleh was known to be quite stoic. He would pace around. He would stare blankly into into space, into the field. He would just kind of look like he was not involved at all. He wasn't over there in the defensive bench, grabbing guys' face masks and doing. He had to be held back then. He only had to be held back when somebody would break one or there was a big interception or something like that. Then Robert Saleh would poof, he would explode with energy, and he needed that get-back coach lest we get a penalty. He was so uncontainable when we were doing something positive, which, truth be told, you don't really need a coach when things are going well. I mean, it's great and all. There's no issue with the excited, positivity. Rex would famously, lumber down, into the end zone. Fat Rex, that is. The skinny Rex, I don't remember too much of that. But the fat Rex, he would run down to the end zone. Remember that? He would huff and puff and roll down there, and he would be all excited. So it happens. There's nothing wrong with it per se, but it's got to be real. Aaron Glenn, notoriously actively working with his players throughout the game. Now, we've never seen him in a head coach role. So to be fair, maybe it does take him a minute to navigate all this stuff with being that CEO, the leader of everything. Is he involved in the offensive side of things? We knew Adam Gase wasn't involved in the offensive side of things. Todd Bowles wasn't really involved in the offensive side of things. Rex wasn't involved with the offensive side of things, and Robert Saleh was not involved with the offensive side of things. So much so that he said in the last year, toward the end of his career with the Jets, he said, I plan to be in the offensive meetings more this year. And like I've said recently in another stream or whatever, what I hear there is, I'm not really involved in the offensive meetings. So if you need to make that statement, that means that you're not involved. You know what I mean? It's not a good thing. He's like, you make that statement thinking it's going to excite everybody. It's a positive. I'm going to be more involved in the offensive meetings. That's a good thing. Yeah, but why the fuck aren't you involved in the offensive meetings? You're the head coach. So we don't know what Aaron Glenn's going to be able to do. Maybe there's too many balls in the air and he just can't do it. Maybe, just maybe, he can't be the head. We don't know. But as far as who these men are, I think there's a very big difference between the disciplinarian background of Aaron Glenn, where the players are going to know what he says means business. You can talk the game all you want. I'm pissed off when I lose and all that kind of stuff. And then you just stand there and the guy that you lost because of, whether it be the kicker or the left tackle or the guys, dropping interceptions or fumbling the ball, whatever it is, nobody was held accountable across the board. They talk about support, Dan Campbell did. Real quick. I got to tell you, I felt like, you say what you want about Woody, say what you want, okay? It's all real. It's a problem. Thinking is overrated, all the stuff. But the truth is, Robert Saleh got pretty much everything he wanted. He had 7 first-round picks on the defensive line at the start of last year. He had numerous first-round picks, Pro Bowlers, and All-Pros strewn about the defense. He didn't develop one single offensive player. But look, he sent that text to Joe Douglas at the beginning of day 2 of the NFL draft last year. And he said what? No matter what, this is the guy I want. I want Malachi Corley. I need him no matter what, at all costs. You got to use extra draft capital to hop on up and grab this guy. Do it, Joe. I need Malachi Corley. He got it, and he couldn't figure out a way to use the damn guy. Couldn't do it. Couldn't get him on the field. Couldn't do anything with Malachi Corley. I want this guy. I want that guy. Couldn't figure out how to use anybody not on the defensive side of the ball. So it's an interesting thing when we talk about support. The truth is, guys, is Woody, he opens the pocketbook. He gives his guys whatever the hell whatever they want to make the team. Robert Saleh proved that he was a lot of smoke, a lot of bluster, where Aaron Glenn, you look at the background at least, which is what we have right now, it looks pretty legit. So the big difference is one's the real deal, and one is a fraud. There you go. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, everybody. Have a great day. I'll see you next time. And as always, go Jets.